How's it going, everyone? Welcome to or welcome back to the channel for another track guide episode. We're here at Yas Marina, and Chat and I had a bit of deja vu there. We feel like we've done this before, but we had to double check on the channel. We haven't done it yet. It was requested, so here we are. We are in the GT2 M6, the fancy new paint job by Whisper. I'm going to show off the tune, and I will reiterate from, I think, 2 track guides ago until the foreseeable future, we cannot use the public hopper spec in free play or private multiplayer. So the PI is going to be a little bit different. I'm not going to have the power or what have you, but the tune itself, I just ran 2 laps with it. The tune itself should work. This is the tune that I use for GT2. It might look a little bit different when I go around the track with it, but if you copy the tune and put it on your GT2 spec when you're in a hopper, it should work for you. Now that we got that out of the way, let's go over the tune while I explain what we're doing here. So I'm going to do 3 laps. The first lap, I'm going to be on controller, where I go a little bit slow, pulling out the brake markers, how to attack the corner, kind of, what's coming up next, what you want to really plan for. The second lap, I will be on the wheel at a decent pace, nothing, towards race pace or anything like that, but a decent pace while I still call out the track markers, or the brake markers, and explain the track. And the third lap will be a full quality, soft, no fuel, as fast as I can go. Why'd I put the controller down? So the times may not be reflective to what you can get in GT2, but the tune will work for you. So we're trying not to go for times. Before, I would try to give an example of like a time to shoot for, but since I can't use the exact spec, it's going to be a little bit different. So, assuming you are on a flying lap, you want to brake right at the 100 board, or just a sniff past it. Maybe like a half a car past. If this brake marker is gone, it's going to be a little bit more difficult. A couple car lengths after the rumble strip starts. So just keep an eye out, or you can brake right here on this white booth, but there are 2 white booths. So you just have to be a little bit careful. If this brake marker is gone, look for this set of booths and brake at the first one. Brake decently hard for just a quick second, and then quickly ease up on it so you can trail brake in. You can cut quite a bit of this corner without unsettling your car too much, and then straight line it out towards the exit. Be careful of going over the rumble strip too far. That the rumble strips at Yas are still very slippery. Even though they've fixed them, they are still a bit slippery, so be careful. Here, cut the inside. And then for this one, I don't even think I touched the brake. I think I just let up on the gas and let the car drift in. And again here, the track limit is not the white line. The track limit is the backside of the rumble strip. So you can cut a lot of this corner. You can cut it all the way out here, which will give you the best straight line out down to the hairpin. You want to spot up ahead the 100 board, or where the rumble strip starts, the second rumble strip. So if the 100 board is gone, right here on the right, brake just before or right at the rumble strip right there. I like to brake at the 100 board just so I can set my car up a little bit better for the hairpin. But depending on the situation, if somebody's dive bombing you or whatever, you might want to push it a little bit later. I wouldn't push it much past this though. Just be careful here. It is really easy to get up on this little rumble strip right here, lock your tires up, and just go way wide. So you want to plan ahead here. We have a long straightaway, so the best option is going to be to go wide. You don't want to hug the inside here and just cut it tight. You're going to kill your corner exit. So feel free to run it a bit wide here, wider than the race line, and then cut in. Late apex it. Get on the power nice and early. All the way down to the chicane, which is probably on the wheel my biggest problem with this track. Probably the chicane and the hotel section. Alright, so coming up to the chicane, don't brake at the 100 board, that's way too late. And the 150 board, is that the 150? Yeah, it's gotta be the 150. Let's just double check real quick. Yep, 150 is too early, rumble strip is too early, 100 board is too late. So brake right in between the 100 board and the 50 board. You can push it a little bit later, maybe like 115, 120-ish. But I like to brake about 125. Now there is no marker here. It's way after the rumble strip starts. So if both of those boards are gone, the 150 and the 100 board, look for the rubber on the track. Rubber is always a pretty good indication on where to start braking. But yeah, try to shoot for about 120, 125. Should be safe. Be careful of braking on this rumble strip unless you're over it. If you're over it and you have two tires over here, you should be okay. But a lot of people will try to ride this and then they just skirt straight off into the dust. So be careful on that rumble strip. I don't like to take the rumble strip personally. You can cut the crap out of this corner, stay left as far as you can, and then you can cut this. If you cut this too much, let's say for example this, that's too much. There's a little orange sausage right there, so you don't want to eat it with your whole car. At least I haven't found that to be faster. It always upsets my car. So I like to take it, if I can, just on the edge, like that. If you feel comfortable and your tune can eat that curb, feel free to eat it. For me, it upsets my car too much and kills my exit. So I don't do that. Alright, coming up to the tricky bit. Now there's a bunch of different lines people take for this corner. I've seen people take all sorts of different lines. The fastest line that I can take consistently that has worked out for me is brake just after this white line. There's no brake boards, no nothing like that. Brake before the 100 board for sure. If you brake at the 100 board, you're going way too far. So I like to brake just after the white line, about a car length, maybe two car lengths. Brake hard and then quickly ease up. Let your car coast in. And I like to kind of do like a mid-hug here. I like to go here. Some people are further on the inside. Some people are further on the outside. They like to kind of square it off. I personally haven't found squaring this corner off to be faster. There's not a long straightaway. Afterwards, you're not really gaining a whole lot of time on the corner exit. I found that this midline works great. And you want to plan for the second apex up here. Not that one. So cut that apex. Run it out a little bit wide. About mid-track. Get about here. Let your car drift in. And then you should be on the power. You can hit the power early here. If you get that line right. And the reason why you don't gain a lot of time if you take the squared off line there is because if you do have a whole bunch of speed, you have to let up here. So you're not really, you have like, what's that, 400 meters? So I think you lose 2/10 on the entry back there, and you might only gain a 1/10 back on the exit. So again, it's not worth it to me to run the wide line where you square it off. This corner's a bit tricky. If your car is really planted and the track is super rubbered in, you can take this corner flat. I can't do that 9 times out of 10. I do a slight lift here just to get my car settled back onto the power, just for a quick second. And then hard onto the brakes. You kind of want to let your car drift out a little bit on the brakes. And then when you get close, let up on the brakes. Get the turn in. Your car will grip up. Cut this. You want to stay right if you can. Cut this, and then you want to take this whole left-hander as one corner. Let it swing out. Throttle modulate. Dip in and back on the power. This one, I don't think you have to brake for this one either. I think you just let off the gas here, right? I mean, if you're cooking, you might need to do a little brake tap. Maybe right at the 50 board, just before the 50. A little brake tap if you need. I like to just shift up into 4th gear and let the car kind of coast until you reach the apex. And then you should be able to get on the power. And for those that don't know, this track limit's all the way out here. But it is very easy to run wide here. As soon as you touch this rumble strip, if you look at them, usually it's only one set of the rumble strip that is ribbed like this, all bumpy. This one, it's both sets. So this rumble strip in particular is extremely slippery. And if you brake on this rumble strip, like a lot of people like to run it wide and then brake, you run wide here. So be careful. If you do run it wide, I like to only run it about halfway wide if I can. That way I have at least 2 tires on solid pavement. And then for the last corner, brake about here. Oh, maybe that's a little bit too far. Where's the white line? Here. Okay, yeah, so about a car length and a half-ish. Just after that white line. There's no brake marker here. No rumble strip guidelines. No, nothing really. And the rubber kind of blends in here. So look for that white line. And just about a car length or maybe 2 if you want to push it after. Brake hard in a straight line for a second. Let your car run wide a little bit because it's a straightaway afterwards, so you're going to want to plan for the corner exit. Get it turned in on the power. And again, on that corner exit, it is extremely easy to mess up there. Extremely easy. There's turf right by a ribbed rumble strip. So this corner exit right here, it gets real slippery too. I'm just going to back up a little bit so we can get a little bit of a run for lap 2. Hopefully that was okay enough. I think there was one corner that I missed the brake marker calling out, so I'll try to pick that up when we do it this lap. So here, look for the 100 board. Ease onto the power. Don't run it too wide. Turn in early. Cut that. Let off the gas. No brake. Cut that on the power. On the power nice and early. Spot the 100 board on the brakes. I actually cut that a little bit too early. You want to run it a little bit later and cut a little bit more, like square it off more. Alright, coming up to the chicane, spot the 150 board, spot the 100, right in between. Cut this, stay to the left, 1 tire up and over, on the power. This one's kind of difficult to spot the white line. Spot it, brake just after. Get close to that first apex, about mid-track, let off, let your car rotate in, and then on the power. Here, get your car squared up. I like to let off, on the power, hard brake. Ah, I messed that up. Went a little bit too deep. Here, take it a full left. And then here again, I like to just shift up to fourth and let the car coast. Just after the white line there, get the corner squared up on the bar. And I still forgot to call out the brake marker for that one corner. I know where it is too. It's just before you go into the hotel section. So I'll try to call it out on my fast lap. So now I'm going to run a few laps here, pick the best one, put it at the end of the video so you guys can see what a decently quick lap looks like. I'll try to do what I can. Like I said, the times that I run right now may not reflect what is possible in GT2. I think I'm going to be quite a bit slower, but I'll try to give it my best shot. So I'll try to see what I can do, and I will catch you guys at the end of the video. Peace. 54s. Alright, come on, we gotta get a 53. Much better exit there. Look at that time gain. Look at it. Already up 1/10. 1.1. Just out of that corner exit. 1.2. So again, if there's a corner that leads to a straightaway, you always want to plan for the exit. You will gain the most time. Alright, we're on pace for the lap, so I gotta remember to call out this braking zone, which might hurt the lap. Alright, for this right-hander, let off here, and then brake just after that left rumble strip on the left side. Alright, there we go. We got a 53. I'm pretty sure in the normal GT2 hop you should be able to get 52s. So, like I said, the pace may not reflect what you can actually get, but the tune itself should work for you. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the track guide video. Hopefully it helps you out a little bit. If you enjoyed it, hit that like button. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. We'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.